Hello everybody and welcome back to Going Medieval. As always, I am Dort, and today we're going to go ahead and tear down this old building here. We don't need it anymore. I wanted to go ahead and make a great hall out of it, but I don't think it's big enough for all of the stuff that we actually need inside of this, and it also needs a grid space of 50, so I'm not sure if this is actually going to be big enough. So just to be safe, we're just going to go ahead and tear it down and just rebuild the new one out of the limestone or whatever we're using right now. I think it's limestone, so that way it's kind of increasing our Stone Age stuff that we're kind of matching the newer buildings instead of having wood buildings here. And then as they work on that, that's going to probably take most of winter to go ahead and tear this thing down, probably because we're about to roll into winter here in a second. And as they do that, that's going to be good for us, so that way we can go ahead and get that great haul, and then it'll go ahead and increase their happiness and stuff when they eat food in there. So hopefully that can go ahead and get built sooner rather than later. But over here in the little spare room that we had left over last episode, I went ahead and just put the games in there so that they have something to do while they are waiting. We also got enough research points to go ahead and unlock another research thing, so we're going to go with the armorer upgrade here because that's going to give us armor for our people, and I think some of them could use it. I think some of them don't have shields, and then some of them don't have armor pieces other than what we're getting from the bandits and stuff like that. So let's go ahead and do that. We can go ahead and shove that thing into one of these rooms. I think we can go ahead and cram it in one of these guys because these are considered the workshops. You know what? Never mind. This thing is a huge table. That's going to take up the entirety of the room on one side, and we don't have the room for that right now. So actually, that's probably just going to go ahead and hang out on its own there. We're just going to not place it down just yet. So with our tailoring table here, we can actually have our people start making some winter clothes here, but it looks like we need fabric, clothing fabric, and I don't know if we actually have any of that right now. And it looks like, what does that look like? Does it tell me a little picture? It doesn't show me a little picture. Maybe it's under textiles. We have leather and we have linen cloth, so we might be able to go ahead and make a whole bunch of clothing already. So let's just go ahead and have them toggle to make this. How many people do we have? We only have 10 of these people, so let's actually only have 10 sets of this clothing get made because we don't want to have a whole bunch of this being processed. And then I don't know if the hats here have an effect on winter or summer stuff here. We'll go ahead and make a couple of these guys right now. Does it tell me any stats on it? It does not. So let's just go ahead and make 10 of those as well. We'll have enough for all of our people. And then if we go ahead and dismantle stuff, can we toggle what we dismantle? We can indeed. Okay, so we can break down whatever we want in this thing here to go ahead and make some more armor. So for right now, we're not going to dismantle anything because I don't want to be burning any of that stuff in case we need any of that. So we're going to disable that one. We're going to leave these guys to be making what they need to be making, and our building is pretty much gutted already. I thought that would take into winter, but it actually took less than a day to have them gut this entire thing, so that's nice. Although I think they might have gone from the bottom up, so we just lost all the stuff that's on the top actually, so we're actually losing a bunch of wood by doing that. I didn't realize they'd start from the bottom and go up, but they did, and so we lost our entire second floor there. That's kind of a bummer. So actually looking through what they're wearing already, a bunch of them, or pretty much all of them, are wearing winter clothing of some sort, and then they're all wearing armor pieces already. Maybe not the best armor pieces, but probably the best things that we have currently because the bandits that we keep killing keep dropping some decent stuff. And then all the hats and stuff, they're just auto-equipping. So I think we can probably have some of these people drop their hats, right? Because some of them don't have armor hats on, and I see some of those in our inventory thing here. Like we have a bunch of leather caps. So we can go ahead and have them all drop those, and then hopefully they grab those ones out of the stockpile here so that they're actually all armored up, and we can actually go ahead and disable this thing from making any of the clothing because we really don't need any of it. We already have a bunch of it because of the bandits. So this table might actually be kind of a waste in the long run here. We might actually remove that and just shove the thing that we just got in there actually. Let's go and do that, yeah. If we end up needing this in the future here, we can go ahead and put it back, but for right now I think the other armory table might be more important. Actually no, the other armor table is not going to be any important either because it's just going to be a bunch of the armor that we're already wearing, unless we can make the purple stuff that some of them have on. I guess we'll see that in a second whenever they get around to disabling that table or disassembling that table. Okay, so as we get ready for winter to roll around here, let's go ahead and set up what will hopefully become our great hall. We're going to go with the limestone walls because those are going to be faster for us to get up and going since we don't have to wait for the table over there to go and turn these into the limestone bricks. And we'll go ahead and do a little 2-space gap, or let's do a 1-space gap to go ahead and maximize on space here. So we can do that one there. And then we need a total of 50 of the blocks here. And I don't know if it needs like 50 long and then 50 wide because that would be that would be huge. So let me actually do probably 10 long here, and then we'll go over 5 blocks or maybe 10 blocks as long as the berry bushes here are. Okay, so actually before we go ahead and put anything in motion here, we're actually going to try and plan this room out a little bit because we can go ahead and get this done in one shot instead of having to break down walls and rearrange things. So what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to have to go ahead and put down some tables in here, right? And for right now, we'll go ahead and use the stone variant because I think those are going to look a little bit cleaner when we have everything up and going here instead of just the wooden ones. I didn't really like the look of those, so we're going to go with these ones. And right now, what we'll end up doing is spacing this out from the wall here so that we can actually squeeze in some chairs. And then what we'll end up doing is having the chairs there, and hopefully the little spacing between the walls act as a little pathway for the villagers to actually be able to get to each chair here. So we will probably have to go ahead and space them out by one. I'm not sure if they can be squeezed in right next to each other. I think they might be able to. So we'll try that first off, right? We'll have a bunch of chairs down that side, and then on the end bits here, we're not going to actually space it from the wall like that. We're not going to have chairs on the ends here. We're just going to have chairs on the sides, so we can actually scoot this over by one so that we can have the wall here, and then we have a pathway on that side. We're going to have a bunch of chairs on this side as well, and then I'm going to end up deleting all this in a second just so we don't have the chairs and stuff getting built as we're trying to have the rest of the building being built. So we'll have those go there, and then what we'll end up doing is having another table go down the side here so that we have a double length table, so we have a bunch of people able to sit there, and then we'll have a double space gap, and then we'll have another set of tables on this side so that we have double or quad tables going down the thing here. And even though we're not going to have that many villagers for quite some time, if we can even have that many villagers, I don't know if there's a limit to how many you can actually have, but what we'll end up doing is probably end up having a double door here if we can even do that. We'll have that go there, and we'll have that one go there so that we have a double door going in, because this is going to be the Great Hall. And we'll have the walkway go down, and then it'll terminate here with a little walkway on the backside here as well. So something like that should work. And then we'll have the other table, and then this is the walkway there. So this should be the end of the wall there, and that can connect in, and that should be the Great Hall. And hopefully there's enough of floor space in this to go ahead and count as the Great Hall as well. So let me go ahead and set this in motion. We're also going to go ahead and throw some windows in here before we forget. Okay, so I think that's pretty much how it's going to end up looking, right? And then on the sides here, we're going to go with a different type of roofing, right? We're going to go with the slanted thing that goes up a whole bunch. And I think for this, we're going to go ahead and use a different type of roofing, right? We can go with the thatch, the sticks, or the wooden one, or the limestone one, but we already know what the limestone one looks like because we have that on a couple buildings already. And to be honest, I don't really want this roof on our Great Hall here. I want it to kind of look kind of fancy here, so I think we're going to go ahead and try out the other ones. I kind of wish these pictures were a little bit bigger. So I think we're going to go with this one, the wooden roof, because it looks like some shingles instead of the thatch thing. And then the stick one just looks like the thatch roof kind of in the little picture there, just brown instead of yellow. So we're going to go with this one just to see how it turns out, because I feel like this is going to look a little nicer than the stone stuff there. So let's go ahead and disable the roof thing so we can actually see the floor still. And then do we actually have to have this go all the way across? We can't have it go halfway. Oh no, that ruins the plan. Oh, you know what? I don't think it's because it won't go across the thing. I don't think there's enough support beams there for this thing to go. I think is what's happening here. Okay, so it's a good thing that we try to plan this out before we committed to anything getting built, because we can't place down any of the wooden support things to hopefully allow us to put the roof down. And so what we have to do is remove this table and then extend it out a little bit more. So we're going to have a wall here, I think, that so that we can actually have the support beam connect to it. Hopefully it's not too far. Let me actually try that. And yeah, we can actually place the support beam there. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and add the table back in on this side. So we need to go ahead and remove the walls on this end of the building here so we can extend it out a little bit. Okay, so now we should be able to go ahead and place the roof down. So let's actually place these guys there to begin with, and then see if we can place the roof now. Actually, that's not even in line with the support that we need for the roof. Okay, one minor little scoop back there. Let's see if this actually works now. It does indeed. Okay, so let's see if that's how we want it. And we need to enable the roof thing again so we can actually see. And so yes, that's kind of how I want it to go. although it's going to leave a giant gap though. I don't really want that to happen. Yeah, if we go ahead and leave it like that, we are going to have some weird gap going on right here, and I don't know if we can actually have that happen. I think that might cause some problems on the inside here. Okay, so it took a little messing with here, but I managed to get it to work. So we scooted this roof back by 1, and then we put a wall down, and in order to do that, we needed to go ahead and have 2 support beams in the center there, basically giving support to this whole thing, because it's too long of a building for it to have one continuous stretch of the roof or the wall up here. So we have it set up like that. We have those 2 things there, so we need to also do that on this section here, on this side of the building rather, and then we should be good to go. We need to go ahead and remove this window because we can't have the windows there, and then we can just go ahead and plop these things in place there. That's going to go ahead and give us the support that we need to go ahead and place down the walls now, and then we can go ahead and finish off this side of the building with the roof here, and then that's going to be this side done. And now all we need left to do is the very top bit here, and we're going to go ahead and stick with the wooden roof type that we have down already. And do we want it to go the other way? No, we don't want it to go that way. It doesn't work out that way. So are we able to do an overhang on this, or is it not going to let us? It's not going to let us. Okay, so never mind. We'll go ahead and just do this like we have all the other roofs done, and that's going to be that. And then I think it's orange because they might not be able to get to it, so we're going to have to mess with some stairs and stuff to let them get up here to them, but that should be good. And then we can go ahead and plop some windows down because we had to remove those other ones, so I think we should be able to place one. What is that? 1 space out. So right there should work, and the roof didn't disappear, so yeah, we're good there. And then we can go ahead and do it on this side as well because we don't have windows there anymore. And that should be the entirety of the Great Hall, hopefully good to go, right? We need to go ahead and let them process through and build this thing, and then we need to go back into here, remove all of these things so that they don't build any of this. Just, oh, don't delete that. Oh, wow, I just deleted half the building. I need to go ahead and clear these, like I said, so that we don't have them accidentally build these things and then not build the rest of the building here. So I need to go ahead and fix my mistake there, and then we can go ahead and have this stuff processed through. Okay, so this place is actually coming together quite nicely, very quickly here. One thing I went ahead and did, right, I deleted the tailoring table a second ago, but I was actually able to go and squeeze the stonemason table into this section of the little workshop. So actually we have that over there now. So we went ahead and replaced the tailoring table, and we have the armory table here. And one thing I didn't even take into account with the armor is that they all have a durability on them. So some of these things are still kind of good. That guy still has an 87 out of 168 on his chest piece that he's wearing. But other people in this listing here have stuff that has like 6 points left on it, so we do indeed need these tables down. We can't just constantly be swapping out terrible pieces of armor for other terrible pieces of armor here. So for example, this guy only has 13 hit points left on his piece of armor, so we do have replacements that he will end up grabbing, but we do indeed need to go ahead and get some of that stuff up and running sooner rather than later as well. So once this thing is done being put together, we should have the Great Hall going, and we need to go ahead and actually toggle them to plant. I don't know why they didn't plant any of this stuff back down. Yeah, I don't see a toggle button on this thing to have them replant it, but we need to also have them cut down some trees. So we're going to do probably about 4 rows of trees. We need the wood for all of the roofing that we're going to have being put down here, and the outskirts of the walls are pretty much done already. So yeah, well, let's go ahead and double time it here. That's going to go ahead and start smashing this thing out a little bit quicker here. Okay, so we're pretty much done with the building. We have the entire structure built. We just need to go ahead and put the tables in there, and then we need to go ahead and put all the other random bits and bobs that are required for the room to actually function as a Great Hall. So one thing I might also end up doing right here right now is having this section here. I messed up on the roofing, I guess. Yep, we have the wrong roof up there. I don't even know how that happened. I didn't click on that roof, did I? I must have, because that's what it's set to. So I'm going to go ahead and change that out here in a second, but before we actually unpause and have them start functioning and doing their stuff here, I'm going to go ahead and turn this top bit into a kitchen, because this technically counts as a secondary room. So what I think we'll end up doing is moving the kitchen from over here, putting it over in this area. If it's big enough, I think it should be. We just need a butcher table and then a thing to cook stuff with. So I think we're going to squeeze everything we can in here. We're going to put the stone hearth thing. We're going to put a smoker in here. And I think those are the 2 main things that we can cook food on. And then whatever's left in here, whatever amount of room we have left, is we're going to turn that into a little stockpile for for the meals so that the people can go ahead and come in here, grab their food, go downstairs and eat instead of having to go into the underground bunker thing, grabbing the food and then bringing it back up here. So we'll probably end up turning the entire underground bunker bit. If this works and keeps the food from going bad, we'll probably end up turning the bottom bit into nothing but storage for the raw food and then turning this thing up here for the finished meals so that they don't have to go too far to eat. Okay, so I don't really like the fact that we have that staircase in the middle there, but that's really the only place we could put it to get to the top floor here, unless we want to block one of the doors and have the staircase just go up there, but then we run into the issue of blocking the little pathway that we put down. So we're going to leave it there for right now. That's fine, right? And then what we need to go ahead and do now is place down all of the other things now. So we need to zoom out just a smidge so we can actually see the walls. And then if we go ahead and look at the thing here, we need to go ahead and have 8 banners on the walls, or 8 banners in general in the room. And then we need at least 4 torches down. We have the other tables, we have the chairs down, so we don't need any of that stuff. We just need to go ahead and put the banners and the torches. So let's go ahead and do that. That's not the right one. We need this one here. And I think for right now, what we'll end up doing is placing down a couple of the large ones here, and we can go ahead and place these by the door, and then we can place these around the room as well. So that's 2, and we'll place the other 2 on the other side of the wall here. So that's going to be 4 of those things down. And then I think for right now, we can place one. Actually, I don't want to place one there because that's going to cover the thingy. So that's 4. So let's place one here and here. So that's going to be 6, and then this should be 7, and this should be 8. So we don't need any more banners down, and then all we need is a couple of torches. So I think it was 4 torches, right? Or is it 6 torches? It's only 4 torches. Okay, so we'll go ahead and place down 4 of these as well, and we have the option to place down iron torches, although I don't think we have a whole lot of iron to be making these into torches, so we're going to stick with the good old wooden ones here, and we can go ahead and place one there and then one here, and we can go ahead and place another one on this corner here. Actually, no, I don't want to place one there. We'll place it to the side of the banners on the walls here, and so that's going to mean that we have more torches down than we actually need, but that's going to be fine. Did I place those wrong? No, I didn't. Okay. And then can I actually place these where the support beams are? Probably not. Okay, so let's go ahead and leave it there. I think we should have enough torches and enough of the banners down. We're also going to go ahead and place down a couple of the clay braziers because we need those to keep our people warm, and there's actually other variants now. That's cool. So we have this one that's like a metal thingy, like an old-timey castle thingy. We have this one that's like a modern little thing in the garden, but we're already struggling with the limestone bricks because the floor is made out of those, the border wall is made out of those, so we're going to go ahead and stick with the old ones here. I don't think there's anything different other than the visuals on them and the value, because we're in a golden age right now. We just got the warning for that we're the most wealthiest place in the region apparently somehow. We're going to go ahead and place these things down in a way that hopefully helps us keep the place warm here. So let's place one here because I don't think they're going to be walking in between this section. If they do, they can go this way with it. Or actually, can we place it here, or is the other torch going to cancel it out? No, the other torch isn't going to cancel it out. Okay, so we'll go ahead and place down 2 of those in here for right now, and hopefully that's enough to go ahead and keep this place warm. Did I just place the clay ones down? No, I placed the limestone ones down. Okay, never mind, we're good. So I'm going to let this stuff process through, as well as placing down the stuff up here eventually. We're just not going to do that just yet because I want them to finish that main room before we actually put the kitchen up here. So we're going to let this process again, and we just got hit with a cold snap, so all of our stuff on the outside here is going to go bad, I think is what that's supposed to do. But we don't have anything planted because for some reason they're not actually planting things. I don't know what's going on there. But we can go ahead and actually have our people hunting as well, so we can target a few of these guys so that we get some meat in our stockpile here. And then as they go ahead and process this stuff through, we should go ahead and have the heat things put down so that they don't have this little negative effect popping up over and over again that they're cold. Okay, so this thing is finally complete here. It took us a couple days into winter. It didn't take us that long. I think it took like 5-6 days or something in game to actually get this up and operational here. But we are still missing the entire floor pretty much because we don't have a whole lot of that stone on hand, but it will get completed eventually. We do have our banners and stuff all over the wall, so that's kind of nice to have. But it also looks, if we go ahead and toggle this thing, it looks like we have this whole top room actually counting as the main room here. It's not separating it out into its own little thing here, so we're actually going to go ahead and delete that whole top floor because we really don't want to have anything else up there if we can't have it separated, because we were going to put the kitchen up there so they don't have to go so far, but for right now, I guess we'll just leave it how it is. We'll end up redoing this entire apartment complex business section thing eventually as well, but for right now we'll leave it how it is. So I'm going to go ahead and toggle all that to get deleted, and I think for right now that's actually going to go ahead and be it for today's episode. So hope you guys enjoyed as always, and I'll catch you in the next one. Thanks for watching.